So this last week we talked about the ARCS model, which is a strategy developed by John Keller out of Florida State University. It's a theory of motivation. A standing for attention, R relevance, C confidence, S satisfaction, thus ARCS model. And those factors, strategies rather, are built through theory and practice to increase the enjoyment of learners, so he poses. Sorry I had to pause the video there abruptly. Things were getting out of hand with my kids. The lighting got off. I wanted to move somewhere where you could see me a little bit better. And I finally have upgraded my microphone so I can stand back here. You can see a little bit more of me and hear what I'm saying. I also have gotten my PowerPoint clicker in hand, so now I can kind of go through the material a little bit better with you while we're going over my journal. This is actually for journal this last week, which if I pull up my calendar, I can give you the exact date. So this was for September 27th, of course, September 26th. Class is always on a Wednesday. And this last class, we went over the ARCS model, like I was talking about earlier, and it's a theory of learner motivation. And that's going to be the topic coming up here in the next week as well. So we went over a PowerPoint, and then later in the class, we went through a few scenarios. We broke up into groups like we often do, and came up with some ways to motivate people specifically about using technology. That's obviously the theme of the class. So going back to the ARCS model itself, A, attention, R, relevance, C, confidence, S, satisfaction. Dr. Bolin showed us, and it's on the PowerPoint slide, a graph that actually shows learner attention, and then how at some point it drops off when there's too much, in this case, in the example, confidence, and Dr. Bolin brought this up during class specifically, but there's actually too much confidence a learner can have going into a task that can alter how they use it and other attitudes toward it. All right. Well, sometimes with kids and other things, you know, just like with teaching, you got to be able to be on the fly. So here I am at a different location. Things got out of hand real quick downstairs. I thought the kitchen might have been a good spot, but it wasn't. So here we are up here going through the ARCS model. A, attention. That just had two types of arousal. You know, broadly, it's the focus on gaining and holding a learner's attention, but you can do it two ways posed here. Perceptual and inquiry. Perceptual comes from using surprise, humor, probably some of the more common ways we're familiar with. And then inquiry arousal, is the second one, stimulates curiosity by posing challenging questions or problems to be solved. We like using the Socratic method also in education, so you know this coincides with that. I like that. Moving along to the R part of the ARCS model, relevance. Okay. This should touch on experience, present worth, future usefulness. Okay. Matching needs. We also have choice here, and confidence, of course, is the C in the ARCS. So, and then we also have internal, external, temporary, permanent, and then whether or not that's under the control of the learner, the confidence. Anyway, so on top of the ARCS model, motivational theories, and then that obviously can get more in depth in each of those elements of the ARCS model. I do enjoy it. I mean, I want to use a lot of this in my final project for curriculum instruction. It touches on why people make choices that they do pertaining to the use of technology, which I am a participant in that myself, being a human being in this time and age and being presented. Here I am. I definitely, in more than any of the other journal entries, taking advantage of technology. Got my clicker, everything's wireless, got the microphone now, finally. I hope it helps. You can hear me, see more of me, help us be a little more flexible. I don't like having the headphones on. And then as well, hopefully my voice will be a little more clear after the weather and the rain passes, which it did just rain yesterday. Shows you a little bit past the actual class, and I'm a little backlogged doing this journal. But we'll get on track. I know we will. And right now I'm working on assignment 1 as well. That's another topic I wanted to touch on before I leave you guys today. I did at first decide to do the paper on the topic, critiquing, summarizing an article on technology. But I decided last minute to change up and write Mr. Thomas Edison a letter, which I'm glad I did. And being in social science history, I really started to investigate more about Mr. Edison, and it's been really interesting. I found a really cool article, primary source. It's an interview he did, maybe 1917, I want to say. And it's just really interesting personal stuff with him. His eating habits, what he likes to eat, his thoughts on his health. So it was interesting to get a little more insight into who he was as a person. I like that. So anyway, we'll see you at the next journal entry. I know with my voice like this, it sounds so boring, but I promise it'll get better. What I have to say over the next few weeks as I finalize my letter to Edison, I'll present that to you here. Hope you like it, and we'll see you in class. Okay? Have a good night.